video today is an unboxing and quick review of the Sony a5100 mirrorless camera. Just received this camera in the mail today and I'm very excited to have gotten it. I have opened the box already so I could try the camera, take some test images and get a feel for it in my hands, the actual physical feel of it and some of the functions I've practiced with, just so I could have a bit to review with you also. I received this, as I said today, it came via UPS. My first impression of the box was how small it is. I knew it's a small camera. I've played with it in my hand in Best Buy a little bit, but I was surprised to see how much smaller the box is compared to my current camera, which I'm shooting with the Sony a65. You can see the box is about 60% of this. So I knew that this camera is going to be quite a bit smaller once I got into it. It came via UPS on actually what was a bit of a rainy day. It stayed dry because I wasn't home when it came. The first impression was there was some rattling in the box, which concerned me. Once I got into it, as you'll see, that was just the cable and some other accessories, the strap, that were rattling in there. The camera itself was tightly secured and it came undamaged and in great condition. Opening up the box, we have your basics, the manuals. This is just a thank you for your purchase card. This here is the Japanese instruction booklet. You have a limited warranty card, which you can choose to fill out if you'd like. There is the AC adapter, which gives you the electrical specifications and information about plugging it in. It came with this nice catalog here, a physical catalog of all the different Sony lenses, accessories and different gear you can get to go with this camera. Of course, you can always look online on Amazon, B&H Photo, or wherever it is you buy your camera supplies. But it's sometimes nice to have a physical copy as opposed to always searching on the line. Next, it has the instruction manual. It came in both French and English. I speak English, of course, so I will be using that one. It's a basic Sony manual. As I said, I'm currently shooting with the Sony a65 DSLR, so I'm very familiar with this manual already. I don't really need to look at it too much because I know that this camera basically functions the same way as my previous camera. So the instruction booklet is great to have, but of course I'm already pretty adept to using a Sony camera, and if you have a Sony camera already, you should have the same issue. But it's great, of course, to have. There is some new functions, and always to refresh your memory, here's a great Sony manual. Then there's a card explaining the Sony Wi-Fi Connect that's included in this camera, which is a great feature, I feel, because nowadays with all the social media, Facebook, Google+, Instagram, you want to be able to upload your photos from your camera directly to your smartphone or laptop or tablet, so you can share them much quicker than you would have to if you put in the SD card or had to plug your camera into your computer. It's just a much faster way. You can sync it with any of your devices and take a picture, send it right to that device and have access to it to share as you'd like, which is a really cool new feature. I'm glad to have this on this camera because my current camera, the a65, does not. Mine came with an 8 GB memory card, and I'm not sure that if you buy this camera you'll get it. I didn't actually purchase this camera. Well, I did purchase it, but I used my frequent flyer miles from United Mileage Plus. I travel a lot, so I had a lot of miles to use. That's how I acquired this camera. So I'm not sure if you purchase retail that you will get this card, but everything else that will be in the box, I would imagine, is the same. This is a kit. It comes with a 16 to 50 millimeter lens, which retails for about $600 right now, I believe, online as of June 2016. Opening it up, we have the camera. It comes in this nice paper type bag, which keeps it from getting scratched, and it's folded in its own unique little compartment within the box to keep it from rattling around. As you can see, the camera itself is quite small, which is exactly why I got it. I'm going to be traveling to Germany. I travel a lot, as I just told you, and at the end of the month I will be in Germany, and I just got tired of lugging around the Sony a65. It's a big camera. It gets very heavy on my shoulder. I worry sometimes if I'm in big cities, people can see the value of it. This camera is easy to hide, and it actually has the same image quality as the camera I have now, the a65. So it's just a great smaller camera to carry around as I travel. And because it's Sony, and I already have Sony lenses, I can use them on this camera. This camera takes Sony E-mount lenses because it's the smaller camera. But of course you can always buy an adapter to add your Sony A mount lenses that you have already, which I have plenty of, so I'm excited to get the adapter and start shooting with those as well. This 16 to 50 millimeter lens that came with it actually works quite nice. I've played around with it only a little bit, but it's nice. It has actually on this camera, which is a little bit different than my standard camera, it has a zoom function here, which is a bit like a point and shoot camera, I guess you would say. You use that to zoom out, but I believe you can also do with the lens if you like. And also any other lenses that you're going to attach to it, you will be able to zoom in and out like a regular camera. But I don't mind this function, especially for traveling. You want to be fast. So that's kind of nice actually. A couple other things that come in the box are the charging cable. So you have your AC adapter and a USB cable that comes. The only problem I found with this was it was a bit short when I plugged this into my kitchen counter, the outlet in my kitchen, and then I set the camera on the kitchen counter. There wasn't much room. I kind of was excited to play with it and I couldn't get it around. The camera came not charged at all, which was unusual. Generally electronics have half charge when they come to you, but this one didn't. It was completely dead. It worried me at first. It wouldn't turn on, but of course just charging it for a few minutes it sprang right up. I think it took only about an hour or so to charge to full, which was pretty fast, so I was excited about that. The battery, of course, came separately in the box too, but I've already put it in there. Typical Sony battery, snaps in nicely. The SD card that came with my particular camera pops right inside there, so that's easy. The feel of the camera, which is the biggest question I think you would have when purchasing this camera, is the size. As I said, the functionality, the image quality is the same as my DSLR Sony a65. This is 24.3, I believe, megapixels, so it's a very powerful camera. And again, I got it because it was small and powerful, but I was a little concerned with the size when I first took it out of the box. It feels a bit small. You just don't quite get a great grip on it, but again, I'm buying this for traveling. I'm buying it because I want a small camera, so it's not going to be a deal breaker for me. There is a strap that comes with it, also in the box. That's the last item in the box. I haven't attached it yet, but I will be doing so because it's difficult, as I said, to really... My Sony a65 I can hold with one finger. This one I can't do. It just doesn't have quite the grip. But again, put the strap on. I can tie it around my wrist, hang it around my neck, and I'm sure there's some other Sony products or third-party products to hook it to your hip or however you might want to do. So the size is a small issue, but again, I would not buy the camera because of it. It's very lightweight. From some of the reviews I read online, people complained that it was a little fragile. It's a plastic body as opposed to a metal body, which you might find on the a6000 or other Sony cameras. But it doesn't feel fragile to me. It feels very sturdy, actually, and strong. It has a bit of, I guess what is a rubber, some sort of grip here. But there just isn't really much grip at all. So it's a bit more like a point and shoot camera feel when you're actually using it. Again, it doesn't bother me so much. Some of the functions that come on this camera that are the reason why I actually purchased it other than the small size. It came with the 16 to 50 millimeter lens that I've discussed already. Shoots 6 frames per second, which is quite fast for a small camera. As I said, it's 24.3 megapixels, so you can take some really nice images with this camera, and if you'd like, you can enlarge them to a very large size. That's the idea of having a large megapixel camera, is that you'll be able to enlarge these or blow them up into nice big frameable photographs if you'd like, or canvas prints. It shoots great video. This camera shoots full HD video in 1080p, and there's other settings you can do. It shoots MP4 and a couple other settings. There's a newer video shooting mode which I'm not quite sure about. The reviews I saw online, it's very good for shooting videos. I'm not much into videos. I'm more of a still photographer, but I'm happy with the quality at 1080p HD video. It has a very large LCD display which flips up all the way, actually facing. So if you wanted to do a selfie, you can see yourself, see what you look, make sure you're framed, smiling, whatever. I don't take a lot of selfies, so that's not such a big deal for me, but I do like it halfway, because if I'm taking a shot way down low to the ground, from this angle I don't have to climb down and get on the ground. I can look down at the camera. It does not flip the other way. I wish that it did, so you could do the over the head shots or over a fence and be able to look. That was one thing that I didn't like about it, but again, that wouldn't be a deal breaker for me. It still has all the other functions. It's still the same image quality, and if I have to, I can shoot a couple shots just holding it up and then check how they look afterwards. Has a flash. It does have a pop-up flash, which you can use, which is very nice. The only thing that's not so good, it doesn't have the hot shoe adapter. A hot shoe adapter is where you can take another flash, external flash, and pop it on there if you wanted to change. So it doesn't have that, but again, I bought it to be a small camera, so I wouldn't want to be carrying around external flashes with me anyway. This is going to be a camera for when I'm on the road. It has the built-in Wi-Fi, which I discussed already. I really like that feature. I have not used it yet, but I'm excited to do so because if I'm taking pictures of family or friends, or down here in Florida this winter when I want to take a picture of the beach and send it up to my family in Vermont to poke a little fun, that'll be easy as well. So all in all, from what I've seen so far, it's just a great little camera. A little on the small side, but again, that's why I got it. And it just shoots amazing images. It's Sony, so that's what you would expect. I have taken some sample images with it, which I'll show you now on the screen. And I will also post at the bottom, you'll see the ISO and the shutter speed and aperture that I shot with, so you can get an idea. This camera shoots excellent in low light, so if you're using this to take pictures of your friends at maybe you're at a party or a bar or wherever you are where it's dark, this camera is great to do that inside of a restaurant, wherever it might be. It really is a nice little camera, and I'm sure if you make this purchase, you'll be happy with it too. Thanks for watching.